Salutations, sexual deviants. Automatic here for Automatic Games. Thanks for joining me for Season 4, Episode 4 of our XCOM 2 series. In our previous installment, Alpha Squad took to the field to hack into an Advent device aboard a vehicle. They did so successfully, but not without incurring a KIA in the form of their squad medic, Carl Ham, codenamed Lead. Now, we hope to not repeat any such setbacks in this episode. Also, in the previous installment, we investigated the Avatar suit, or rather the Avatar corpse, and Dr. Tygan made the determination that we can use the suit that we discovered at the Forge to enter the Psionic Gate, and it will be piloted by the Commander himself. So at that point, I guess we'll find out how rusty the Commander is.
Priority message for the Commander coming through on a secure channel, sir.
On screen.
Sir, it's coming from the Advent Network Tower.
You heard me. He's taking a big risk contacting us like this.
Hello, Commander. You and your crew are to be commended. Your efforts in rebuilding the Resistance Network and uncovering the truth about the Avatar Project have been admirable. I only wish I had better news to report.
When does he ever?
Advent is not taking the death of an elder lightly, and in turn have greatly accelerated the final stages of their Avatar Project. A plan is now in place for the rapid processing of all non-essential human life, to begin immediately. Very soon, Advent's speaker will announce a breakthrough in gene therapy, a final treatment for the human condition. Billions will flock to gene therapy clinics across the globe. They will never return. I have managed to secure tactical data and access codes to the Advent Network Tower. The speaker's address will be broadcast live to a global audience via this facility. The whole of Advent's network will be listening. It is this hubris that we must use against them. The information I am sending you should allow Dr. Tygan and Chief Engineer Shen to take control of the transmission and disrupt their entire network from within. Though my hope is that this disruption will confuse the enemy's forces long enough to allow your final assault a chance of success, I ask one more thing of you. Take what you have learned. Let the world know what is happening here. Wake them up. Broadcast the truth before there is no one left to listen. It seems we are both out of time. Farewell, Commander.
And from that footage, one can infer that we just took another KIA, this time in the form of the spokesman, which altogether sucks.
We're making progress, Commander. I've updated our objectives based on the latest
After
findings.
all, he was an iconic figure when it comes to XCOM, and his contributions to us have been nothing short of remarkable.
We have the target site locked in, Commander. This is our chance to strike at Advent's heart. Once we control the network tower, we can finally show the world what the aliens are doing. There's no turning back after this.
And his final contribution was the location of the Advent Network Tower. And, we're not going to move on that yet. As you can see, we could allocate intel to that operation.
Commander, the aliens continue to make progress.
So we're going to do that. We're going to build up intel.
We're going to slow them
Yeah,
down.
Central, I get it. They're continuing with the Avatar project. I never thought that they would stop. But you know what? We've got the response to that. We're gonna move on a black site.
Coordinates locked in, Commander.
Okay, so they've got yet another black site appearing on the geoscape, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. We'll move on them both. First will be the one in Indonesia. Okay, Odd Noble, as he's ready to retrain as a field medic, and to that end, he's going to take medical protocol followed by revival protocol, field medic, of course, and covering fire or threat assessment. Covering fire, I think. And of course, he's got hollow targeting. Nonetheless, he's going to fall in with Alpha Squad, and he's got big shoes to fill there. Back to the geoscape. Now, this resistance cell moved on us.
Got an urgent communication coming in for you now, Commander.
Put him on. Well, not him, huh? Yeah. So I guess this message is just from the various resistance networks, not so much the spokesman anymore. Because after all, he's dead. And yeah, Advent continues on their minor projects. The hidden one can remain hidden. But yeah, that resistance network in Indonesia, we had contact with them, but we lost it as they moved for self-preservation purposes, but as you can see, we found them again. So yeah, peekaboo. Hey guys, next time you uproot, why don't you tell us where you're headed?
Signal's coming through clear.
Okay, so we've reestablished contact. And yeah, let's turn our attention to Steeler. She's completed her stasis training. Next up, well, stasis shield sounds good. Yeah, why not broaden her knowledge of stasis? And so she's becoming a psionic powerhouse, or she's working on it anyway. Back to the geoscape. I think it's time to move on that black side in Indonesia. And as mentioned, Bravo Squad is on deck. Bravo Squad is, as usual, commanded by William Lee, codenamed Weasel, wearing the Icarus suit, taking in a flashbang and tracer rounds. He is joined by Joan Richards, codenamed J-Bone, wearing the Ray suit and taking in nano med kits. Mark Jackson, codenamed Stonewall, taking the Wraith suit and Venom rounds for the first time. Bryan Litner, codenamed Brylight, taking the Skull Jacket and EMP bomb. Staci Fallon, codenamed Player, taking an EMP bomb and Mimic Beacon. And finally, Jared Williamson, codenamed Manzer, taking in the War suit with a built-in rocket launcher, blue screen rounds, and Frost bomb. There you have it. Bravo Squad, as it stands for this mission. Bravo. You may board when ready.
Sky Ranger deploy.
In position to drop.
Copy. Firebrand, begin your approach.
One of our resistance contacts tipped us to an alien facility apparently conducting research tied to the Avatar project. We're moving in to take out the site and do whatever we can to slow their progress. Approach the designated target position and place the X4 charges. Then move to the evac point for immediate extraction. Once you're clear, we'll make sure that facility is out of commission for good.
Now, the people of Bravo Squad are sad to see Odd Noble go, but they're confident that he'll be fine in Alpha Squad. In the meantime, they are welcoming Brylight to their ranks. He is vouched for by Manzer, who of course participated with him in a previous mission, albeit unauthorized, and frankly, they're anxious to see his capabilities in the field. Bravo Squad is boots on the ground. Now, Weasel wants to approach this facility on the right. He, of course, will lead the way personally. He's going to move halfway up, reconnoiter, and then move to the full extent of his capability. I'll put him up here by this cemetery. He wants the rest of the squad to go ahead and fall in near him. Okay, we do have Advent on the grid. It's like 4, maybe 5 of them. Nonetheless, they're just out of range, visual range that is, and so the squad will do as ordered.
Getting it done. Location confirmed.
And so yeah, everybody's taken up by that stone wall, the actual wall, not by Jackson. And Manzer and Player are gonna hold back together, seeing as they are 2 peas in a pod. Manzer's going to lead the way on this next leg. He's gone halfway up, has a glance around, and now he'll take cover. That gives the rest of the squad the green light. Weasel...
Good copy. Moving on target.
Will spearhead this next movement. He'll move up, ultimately by this car and see what he sees. Which is nothing. Good deal. Coast is clear. Let's have Stonewall move up by the front right wheel of this car. And he has eyes on an Advent turret. Well, we want to pass that up, so we will go further to the right. The rest of the squad will fall in just behind Weasel, with the exception of Player. She's gonna stand by her man.
Move, move, move.
And so, yeah, I mean, we're hitting this black site, right? And, damn it, we've lost some footage. You didn't miss much. Really, Bravo was just approaching the facility on the right side here. The only thing of note that transpired was a pod of 3 Advent closed in on our positions. That is to say, an Advent mech, a shield bearer, and a trooper.
Menace 1-5, you're near the target position.
And as you can see, there's a Guardian in there near the objective location. So that doesn't bode too well, especially when we take into consideration Weasel's plan. Yeah, Weasel wants to fall back on a tactic that's tried and true. Yeah, there's those 3, the mech, trooper, and shield bearer. They are continuing to encroach upon Bravo's position. So yeah, as to Weasel's plan, well, he wants the majority of the squad, in effect, the entire squad save for him, to wait out here near this road. For this is the location which we intend to extract from. In the meantime, Weasel will personally make entry, set the X4 device, withdraw, hopefully covered by the rest of the squad.
That's affirmative.
Now, there's a little hesitation on the part of Bravo's squad. You see, previously when Weasel would enact this particular tactic, he'd have Otto with him. And even when it was he and Otto, both of which are masters of concealment, or were, in the case of Otto, they would sometimes encounter complications. And that will only be multiplied exponentially when you've only got one guy making entry, but nonetheless, here he goes, seeking access to the facility rooftop. He's going to move up to these double doors, which will serve as his POE. But yeah, Bravo Squad doesn't like this. They do not like this at all. And the pod of 3 continues to close in. Manzer is in charge of the squad in Weasel's absence, and he just wants everybody to go into Overwatch in the off chance, well, I shouldn't say off chance, in the very likely chance that that squad of 3 moves right up on them. And they hope that Weasel can expedite. I'd love to have that X4 in place before this situation goes loud. Weasel opens up the double doors. He doesn't have much space to maneuver without being spotted. And so he's going to get a little risky, as if he weren't already taking a high risk here. Yeah, he's going to make entry and hug the wall, in the hopes that spares him from being spotted. So far, so good. He'll continue his approach.
Headed there now.
Yeah, we've got the Guardian down there and something else. Looks like some kind of personnel, a trooper or maybe a stun lancer. And then you've got these 3 getting ever so much closer. Oh boy, yep.
I've got eyes on an Advent position.
Bad news, folks. The Guardian just spotted Weasel. And the Guardian soars up onto this balcony. At the same time, outside, this mech and 2 personnel are springing into action. Manzer opens up, and he issues orders to the squad to open fire as well. The shield bearer takes a certain amount of injury, and Stonewall puts him down. And J-Bone puts down the trooper. That leaves only the mech in the field, and frankly, player would like to try her hand at either shutting that thing down or taking it over. So here goes. Let's see, where's player? There she is. And so she'll deploy the gremlin, and to be honest, if we have a decent chance, we're going to go ahead and try to seize control of this thing. After all, if it's a failure, there's enough squad here to destroy that mech. Hell yeah, it's a success. The advanced mech is under our control. Not sure what that pitter-patter is. Hopefully it will subside. And maybe the viewer doesn't even hear it, but I know I do. Okay, so we want to get some elements inside in order to assist Weasel. After all, he's in there alone. Well, alone if we don't consider 3 Advent that are on the grid in there. That is to say, a Guardian, a Shield Bearer, and I believe a Stun Lancer. She's going to take a shot at the Stun Lancer, and she scores a hit. Good deal.
Weapons burning ammo fast!
Okay, Stonewall can get in as well. And just like J-Bone, he's going to utilize the grapple and get as close to that POE as possible. Yeah, it's good.
Let's move already.
Does he have a clear line of sight from this vantage point? Yeah, he does. Okay, he's gonna go for the Stun Lancer. Or rather, no, that's the Shield Bearer. Well, damn. Either way, it is a hit.
Minimal damage.
But I'm afraid I acted too fast, and I would have rather him put fire on the same target as J-Bone, thereby taking it out. No matter. We will roll with it. So Brylight is going to attempt to use a psionic ability. And the ability in question, Void Rift. And he's trying to use it on that Guardian. I mean, there's a chance he could take control of the thing. Let's see. And he doesn't. He does, however, panic the Guardian, which could play into our hand. Apparently our mech was on Overwatch. Yeah, the Guardian opens fire on the Stun Lancer. Unfortunately, it's a miss, but it's a wasted move on the Guardian's part, so that's cool. As to Manzer, well, let's see. We've got 2 injured Advent personnel inside. He could probably finish them. So yeah, he's going to use a rocket to do that.
Launching.
Yeah, this should do the trick, folks. And you better believe it does. That leaves one on the grid. That one being a panicked Guardian. So Weasel's gonna move up.
No problem, boss.
He'll take a shot at the Guardian. Not bad at all.
Armor's still holding.
Okay, let's see what this thing's gonna do. If it does anything. And it doesn't. Well, that's great. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so let us, we're gonna send that heavy mech around front. Really, we're just sending it up against those turrets. If it wins, great. If it loses, great, because we won't have control of this thing forever. So, well, what the hell? Let's move it the rest of the way. I mean, what's the worst that's gonna happen? It'll attract fire? Yeah, it will. Okay.
Moving to position.
J-Bone is gonna shift to her right. She's gonna put fire on that Guardian. Good deal.
Hard target, minimal damage. Negative ammo, I'm spent.
Yeah, let's have Manzer, do likewise. Damn.
It's still moving.
Okay. Well, you know, I mean, that thing is just barely hanging on. Maybe Stonewall can finish it off with a sidearm attack. After all, he is using the Shadowkeeper. Yeah, damn right it does.
Who's keeping score?
I think I need some
This
help.
looks interesting.
Well, the balcony collapsed in the explosion and J-Bone took a plunge.
Finally.
Stonewall's going for the gear. Good deal.
I got your stuff here.
And actually, J-Bone, she's not in too bad a shape, despite having taken that fall.
Got it covered.
And let's see, we've had player move up. We're gonna have Brylight do the same. And that should do it for this round. Well, no, okay, there's still Weasel. And as to what Weasel will do, it's gonna drop down to the facility floor. And move toward the objective pillar where we are supposed to set the X4 device. But he's a little wary of doing that, knowing that arming that device may compel Advent to call in reinforcements. Okay, one of the turrets opens up on the mech. Scores a hit. And we've got 3 more on the grid. Another Guardian. And 2 Vipers. Well, hell, that's not exactly what we wanted to see. We don't welcome any additional pods, but another Guardian, that's substantial.
What's over there?
But you know, Brylight is going to attempt another psionic attack. This time, he's going to go for domination. If this works out, I could really change the tide. And yeah, that's a game changer, folks. The Guardian is under our control. Damn. Yeah, that's pretty cool. J-Bone's gonna move up by the Guardian, considering it's a friendly now.
That's affirmative.
And she'll reload. Yeah, she's really not hurt much at all from that fall earlier. And that's good. Stonewall doesn't want her mad at him. As to Stonewall, he's going to utilize lightning hands, fire at this Viper on the right. It's a hit, but he's not done yet. Like a true musician, the hits keep on coming. Well, you know, the second one was a dodge, but it still did damage. And really, that's all we ask. As the player, she's going to advance toward the front of the building, essentially just keeping an eye on that mech that's under her purview. And the mech is going to close in on this nearest turret. Again, between the mech, this turret, well, and this newly revealed turret, they can all destroy each other for all we care. In fact, the mech's going to go ahead and fire micro-missiles on its own position and that of the nearest turret. Because why the hell not? After all, it won't be under our control for much longer. So as the Weasel, rather than set the device, he's going to move in on this nearest Viper. And so he's taken her out of the equation. Good stuff.
Not too shabby.
Not shabby at all. Okay, so the mech remains under our control. That's good. This Viper closes in, but activates Weasel's Blade Storm. The Viper is on fire with only 1 health remaining. It takes a shot at Weasel and misses. Good deal. And the turrets continue to fire on the mech. The second one scoring a hit as well. First one fires again, and it misses. Well, let's have Manzer move up. Yeah, he'll go ahead and fire at that Viper, despite the Viper having sealed its own fate. Manzer cuts it down early.
Who's keeping score?
Because why not? You might as well get credit for the kill. As to, let's see, player is going into Overwatch. Let's turn to the mech. Have it. Go ahead and fire a shot at this nearest turret. Good damage. Turret is still hanging on, but just barely. And you know, kind of want to try out something with this Guardian. It's going to head over to where we initially made contact with the Advent forces. We know it can raise the dead.
Okay.
Frankly, I wouldn't mind toying around with that. J-Bone lines up a shot, and it's a hit. I think that was on the turret. No, it wasn't. Oh well. It was actually on the mech. It's all the same, folks.
Tired of waiting around.
Stonewall will move up, take cover. And he's got a shot. He's gonna go for it, taking out that turret, if possible. And it is. The turret is down. All that remains on the grid is an Advent turret. And of course that mech could free itself from a player's hack at any moment.
Scanning.
And I don't think that's the case with the Guardian. I think once domination is in play, it lasts until the Psi operative is killed
Covering now.
or otherwise incapacitated. Yeah, indeed, the mech has regained control of its facilities. And the turret opens up on, who was that? Guess that was Stonewall, who's returning fire. And he scores a hit. Weasel opens fire on the mech and puts it down. Well, good deal, folks. Only the turret remains on the grid. And sure enough, here comes Advent reinforcements.
Be advised, we've picked up hostile reinforcements inbound on your position.
Okay. So, things are not going precisely as Brylight had intended. What he wanted to do, ideally, was have the Guardian set about raising multiple pods of Advent dead. And he wanted this to transpire before Advent reinforcements touched down. That way, when the reinforcements made their insertion, they would be surrounded by a large group of their own undead. In effect, they'd be walking into a nightmare scenario reminiscent of a George A. Romero movie. But we've obviously fallen short of that bar. Nonetheless, the Guardian is raising the dead, because why not? Ultimately, that's just something Brylight wanted to try out. I guess he knew the Guardian could do it, and so he wanted to see it done. Now, as to the units that are living, now let's see. Player is gonna set about attempting to hack this turret. After all, it's got a nice line of sight over Advent's intended drop-off point. And yeah, she's not just looking to shut it down, she wants to take control. Damn, she didn't quite get it. But you know what, that's fine. In terms of taking over Advent units, as far as this mission is concerned, we've done quite well. So we've not much room for complaining there. Okay, J-Bone, she wants to get in optimal position. To that end, she'll move up to the roof and set herself up overlooking
Overwatch.
Advent's insertion point. And pretty much everybody else is going to attempt to do similarly. Find a nice line of sight.
Let's move
Focusing on the area where Advent intends to present themselves.
Got it covered.
As to Manzer, he didn't find good cover, but nonetheless, he's going into Overwatch. Brylight will move up to the window.
I'm going.
Well, actually, we've still got that turret out there. I guess that is a liability. Now the EMP bomb falls short of it, so Brylight's just going to take a conventional shot. And it connects. The turret is still active. Okay, well, as to Weasel, let's see. Well, you know what? He'll just go into Overwatch, I think.
On Overwatch.
And so, here they come. An officer, a shield bearer, and a stun lancer. Welcome to hell.
Advent forces on the ground.
And so Bravo opens up. First with a miss by Weasel. J-Bone nicks somebody. Stonewall's firing through a series of walls and subsequently misses. Okay, perhaps I overstated things when I said welcome to hell. The turret opens up aiming at, well, I don't know, either Brylight or Weasel. Either way, it's a miss.
Get a little too warm over here. Fire's getting close here.
But the resulting fire is just downright hazardous. Okay. Let's go ahead and move our shambling corpses in the direction of these new X-rays. And they will be supported, of course, by the Guardian. Yeah, that Guardian will continue to move up. Actually, he'll maybe come around the left of this tower. And in the meantime, Weasel wants his squad to go ahead and withdraw. Of course, we've got to set the X4 device. Manzer will set about doing that. Done. And now, we'll head back the way the squad initially came.
Let's do this.
And that's going to be the standing order for the entire squad. Everyone's to uproot and double back to our initial point of entry. To that end, J-Bone utilizes her grapple, finds herself on the roof, and she makes her way back. Stonewall,
Got it covered.
moving at the quick step.
Getting it done.
Player doubles back. Brylight as well. And that only leaves Weasel. And, well, he doesn't want to go through the fire. Damn. Go through it that way, too. Well, you know what? He'll just attempt the Icarus jump. Perhaps that will avoid the flames. And it does. Good deal.
Copy that.
So he'll make his way back to this side of the building. Okay, Advent, do you have a line of sight on any of us, or just on the zombies and Guardian? Suppose we're about to find out. Yeah, they are going after the dead. Nice. Yeah, the shield bearer sets about, buffing his allies. But yeah, the Walking Dead seems like a good distraction. And so, Weasel will see to setting up the extraction zone.
Can I get a back here?
And there it is. Firebrand is in position with the Sky Ranger. It's time to withdraw.
Move, move, move!
Manzer will be the first. I guess because he's got the heavy machine gun. And so he can fire out the back hatch of the Sky Ranger. No, just because he's going first. Although I do have to admit, at other times I have put some rhyme or reason into the withdrawal. Those severely wounded were out first. I don't think we have anyone severely wounded, just light wounds. One of those is well, J-Bone. But yeah, it's a light wound. It doesn't really merit a medevac scenario or anything like that. And of course, Brylight there was on fire briefly. Nonetheless, I think he's still got the majority of his health. So J-Bone's away, player is in position, and is now away. And yeah, let's see, let's go ahead and have this zombie attack the nearby stun lancer. There's that. Well, damaged its shields anyhow. How about the Guardian? Bring that Guardian up. And we'll open the shell. Oh, well. Let's close the shell. I guess he can't do that same attack yet. He's got a cooldown on it, so he'll just go ahead and fire his primary. And the Stun Lancer. Stun Lancer is down. And so having done that, Brylight is going to make his withdraw. I think that will release the Guardian from Brylight's psionic grip. Indeed it does. Well, Weasel.
No problem, boss.
Nice job down there.
Packing it in.
Weasel and Bravo Squad are out of here.
Menace 1-5, status confirmed. X4 charges detonated.
Fantastic. It's talked about on the Sky Ranger trip back to the Avenger, but I shouldn't even need to stress how welcome an addition Brylight is to Bravo Squad. You know, it got rather hectic down there. It seems to me that the last semblance of structure that Bravo experienced in this particular operation was just moments before Weasel was spotted by that enemy Guardian. At that time, the most of Bravo's squad was still in formation, out there by where they'd ultimately extract, and Weasel was still doing everything according to plan. Well, once the Guardian spotted him, things got rather chaotic, but nonetheless, Bravo prevailed. And I mean, being able to control a Guardian in the field? Yeah. How sweet that is. And so we look forward to future operations with Brylight in Bravo's ranks. And so, J-Bone is lightly wounded, Brylight is wounded, but nothing too severe. J-Bone also earned herself a promotion, and she gets to choose, well, it's really not much of a choice, because Restoration seems altogether fitting for a combat medic. So yeah, I think that that's the route she'll go. There you have it, Bravo Squad, excellent work down there. And in terms of material gains, we've really just got the loot that Stonewall was able to pull off of that downed Guardian. That includes a data cache, so that's cool. Damn, I missed the spokesman. Anyhow, we do have another black site out there on the geoscape, but before we turn our attention to that, let's turn our attention to research. This because we can follow this facility lead. We're gonna do that.
I had assumed you'd make that research a priority, Commander. I'll notify you as soon as the report is available.
Yeah.
If we can disrupt the Advent dampening field and their network in the process, we stand a reasonable chance of toppling the aliens' grip on our world. The thought had never occurred to me that I might actually live to see this day. The world will know the truth, and we will have made that happen.
It also occurs to me that we have an Illyrium core as a result of that mission, so maybe another go at experimental ammo is in order.
I'll send word as soon as we're finished, Commander.
So now, it's time to go to the geoscape. And going back and referencing that facility lead research, what that'll do for us is it'll allow us to directly move on this black site up there in the New Arctic without having first established contact with the resistance cell located there. That'll save us several days, and it's definitely worthwhile. As you can see, we don't even have the capability of contacting that particular resistance cell for lack of intel. Now, the only caveat to this research is that it's going to take a day, so we're going to have to kill 24 hours. And I guess we will do that by flying to Resistance headquarters. And, you know, we'll just scan there, maybe see if they have anybody for hire. Well, I guess we could have stopped and picked up those supplies, but whatever. This is already underway, so let's just keep on trucking.
Welcome, Commander.
Yeah, there's nobody here that we want to hire. We were purely interested in combatants.
I have made a number of interesting discoveries, Commander.
Well, fantastic. So, that is done. As to his next research endeavor, it's going to be that data.
I foresee a number of valuable applications stemming from this technology. I'll have a report assembled as soon as the research is complete.
After all, if our inability to make contact with the new Arctic resistance cell is any indication, we are wanting for intel. So that particular area of research will yield us the intel we're looking for. So yeah, here goes. We're setting course for the new Arctic, and of course we're going to reserve that particular operation for the next installment. So let's back out of the geoscape, shall we? And that operation will be handled by Echo Squad. And we're looking forward to seeing Echo Squad in action for the second time. And Echo Squad, likewise, is looking forward to displaying their capabilities to the rest of XCOM for yet another operation. But yeah, what can I say? This was a rather successful op, today's Black Site mission, and I do hope the next one is as well. Again, Brylight did just a superb job with Bravo Squad, and frankly, I feel like Odd Noble is going to be a fine fit for Alpha Squad. So there you have it, folks. Thanks for watching. This is Automatic for Automatic Games. I appreciate it as always. If you like this, and if you are subscribed, I will talk to you soon, friends.